So, studying at the University of Regensburg as an exchange student. Now stop it, don't go automatically. These are the two contact people. Christine and Katerina are the real exchange student coordinators, and you can always reach them at international.exchangestudent@ur. This is an auto. I didn't realize that it had an auto in there. Okay. First of all, let's talk about Regensburg, because many don't know where Regensburg actually is. So never heard of it, and no problem. Here's where we are. So we have Germany in the heart of Europe, and then Regensburg more or less in the heart of Germany. So if you want to travel, there are loads of capital cities that are just within a few hours of traveling inside this area. So Berlin, it will be 5 hours now because there's a fast train now, but Prague is probably the closest capital, and also Vienna is very close. We're also located, as you can see in this slide. Are you still there? Because I suddenly have a different sound on my mic.
He's there.
Okay, thanks. Regensburg is located really right there, smack in the middle of Bavaria, on the northernmost point of the river Danube. So you have about 1.5 hours to go to Munich by train, to go to the Oktoberfest if it takes place. Of course, everything I'm saying is pre-COVID, so we have to wait and see. Or see a Bayern Munich football game, or just enjoy the city. It's also 1.5 hours to Nuremberg and about 2 hours to the Alps. Regensburg is a UNESCO World Heritage City and the 4th largest city in Bavaria. The 3 that are larger are Munich, Nuremberg, and Augsburg. It's a very old city founded by the Romans. It has a beautiful medieval center, as you can see here now. This is our brand, more or less the classical view of the city. And it has about 155 inhabitants. 55,000 inhabitants, so approximately, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the same number as Rock Island County. We are a very old city, but really young at heart, because we have 3 universities in town. So we have overall about 35,000 students, and a really huge varieties of bars, restaurants, cafes, cultural events, and so on. There are rumors that say that Regensburg has the highest density of bars compared to the population. Here are some impressions. For example, in the left lower corner, our Duld, which is our very own Oktoberfest. Then there's in the middle is the Turn and Taxis Palace, where there are festivals. You can bike around the banks of the Danube or just relax at one of the city squares. What about university? So University of Regensburg is a very young university compared to some other Germans. We are only about 50 years old. We are a full university, so we have bachelor's, master's, and PhD degrees. We are about a 10-minute bus ride from the city center, and about 21,000 students are currently enrolled as full-time students. And about 1,600 of these are international students. If you come to Regensburg, you can choose from a variety of classes. So we have law, business, economics, management, information system, Catholic theology, philosophy, and so on, humanities, language, literatures, and the natural sciences. But what we do not have is engineering subjects. That's due to a different system in Germany concerning engineering. We are very much of an international community here. We have about 500 exchange students. So of that 1,600, 500 per year are on exchange. Overall, we have 330 partner universities, and they come from 55 different countries. I'm really sorry about this automatic PowerPoint sliding. I don't know right now how to turn it off, so please bear with me that I have to jump back and forth a bit. German language requirements, because that I hear is usually as the first question, what do I do if I don't know any German? Well, there's one possibility. You can start learning German here with us. We have a pre-semester intensive language course, which is 120 hours of learning German. It includes orientation and events, and there are different tracks. So you can do it either as an absolute beginner to learn survival German, or you can reactivate or deepen your German knowledge that you have already. Since this is an additional program, I'm afraid there's a fee of 400 euros, but that includes teaching and some of the, most actually of the excursions, orientations, and the student tutors. So if you break it down to 120 hours of instruction, it's not really that much. I tell you, we don't make any profit from it. And then, of course, we have courses in English. So approximately 400 courses are currently taught in English. And they are mainly from the languages departments, of course, but also from humanities, history and political sciences, business economics and management information system. There's also a real estate department associated with that, psychology and education, and the natural sciences. Where will you live if you come as an exchange student? Well, most of our students, 99% of the exchange students, are living in the student dormitories. We try our best to accommodate everyone there because it's very hard to find a room on the open market, actually. Regensberg is a very popular city and prices on the private market are really high and the dorms are subsidized. In contrast to US campus, also we house grads and undergraduates in the same building or same also floor and so on. German and international students from all our 2 or 3 universities here are housed together, and you always have a single room. There is no sharing your room. You have a private room where you can close the door or open it, but you share bathroom and kitchen with other people. Mm. So there's a kind of we call it WG, Wohngemeinschaft, living community. And so it's also nice to make friends because you always are in contact with them. Is Regensberg expensive? There's my other colleague talking in the background. Well, you have to decide for yourself. There are some fees that you have to calculate with. You don't pay extra tuition. You will have to continue paying at Augustana. But there is a so-called semester fee. It's 165 euros. And this is half of it is a student service fee. And half of it goes, or maybe more than half in the meantime, goes towards the Regensberg bus company. But the huge advantage is this, that as soon as you have your student ID card, remember you won't have a car over here, you can take the public transport in Regensberg and in the surroundings at no additional costs. This is a huge advantage because dormitories, I didn't mention that in the other transparency, are not located on campus, but are situated throughout town. And so you will have to get the bus to come up to campus. So there's no cost with the buses, and they run every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, depending on where you get on the bus. Then the residences, you have to calculate per month. In Germany, we calculate rent per month between 250 and 450 euro a month. Then there is a reservation fee of 165 euros and a deposit, 350 euros, but that you will get back at the end, minus hopefully no damages that occur and minus a cleaning fee. Then all over Germany, you have to pay, we call it a TV tax because it's with a tax word, it's easier to explain, of 1750. You have to pay that independent of whether you own a TV or not. Then you have to take out health insurance. That's 100 euro per month approximately. and a one-time payment for the student residence permit, so for the long-time permit of 100 euros. An advantage is, I'm not sure about your nationalities, you all have very international names. If you are US citizens, then you can enter Germany without a visa. If you are a European citizen on top of a US citizen, you can also enter, of course, without a visa, and then don't need a visa. If you have a Vietnamese background, you would have to apply for a long-term visa. Okay, some other price examples. 1 liter of milk, that's approximately a quarter gallon. Some potatoes, apples, spaghetti, you have to compare on your own, because I have no idea at the moment what the prices in the US are. I can tell you in general that I think clothing is definitely much more expensive in Germany, but that's not an item I suspect you have to do a lot of shopping, except if you want, of course. I think maybe some local food is a bit cheaper than in the US, but correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, the average that you have to calculate, and this is actually valid for all over Germany, is about 855 euro per month. That is what actually the state of Germany says that a student needs to live in Germany. There are many who do it with less, because they might not be party goers that have to pay large entry fees to pubs and so on. But if you should have this to feel comfortable, I would say it like this. Okay, what are your advantages as an exchange student? Well, of course, there's a simplified admission procedure. You don't have to do what other international applicants who want to do a degree in Germany have to do. You have us in the international office with accommodation service. You don't have to go, maybe some of you still know the old movie L'Auberge Espagnole, which is 1 year of Barcelona, which is about French exchange students going to Spain and having to look for their own room. You don't have to do that. We will do that for you. We offer, of course, orientation. We have student tutors. We have an international student network, and we are all here to guide you through your whole stay, starting with information sessions such as this, all the way to your transcript. Basically, we're your go-to persons if there's any type of problem. And we also, of course, do special events and excursions. Some harder to visit places, like you saw at the beginning in the Alps, the very famous Castle Neuschwanstein, which is the Disney model castle, which is about 2 hours from here, but it's very hard to reach by public transport. So we usually take a coach and go there together. So where do you sign up? Well, you start by doing what you have done already at your local study abroad office. Then you apply to them, to Augustana. If you are selected, you will be nominated to us. Then we have all the application and process the application, and then you will get a letter of admission and an information package. And then basically you already can start planning your journey, and hopefully we will then see you in Regensberg. So that was a very quick run through Regensberg. And if you have any questions, please shoot.
You just simply unmute and ask a question.
I do have a question, if that's all right.
Of course.
So you I think at the beginning of the presentation, you said the summer semester. How many months would that be?
Okay, the summer semester consists of 14 weeks of instruction, and it kind of depends. If you were to take the intensive language course, then you don't be confused, because you have totally different semester times than you do. You would start in March with the intensive language course. And then from April till mid-July, you would do your summer semester so that you would be back in time for your fall semester at Augustana. It does not work that well with the fall semester because our fall semester starts, well, the intensive language course in September, and then the semester will go until the middle of February. So you will miss the spring term at Augustana. So either it's a year option or the summer semester. These are the two possibilities.